once again, time for the Hay Fever podcast. Welcome back to the Hay Fever edition of Podcast Badly, where I'm constantly rubbing my eyes and making this noise.
Yeah.
Just the whole time. You ever done? Do you get hay fever, Judd?
And I'm constantly rubbing my cock and making this noise. Oh fuck!
Oh God! Coming up in today's podcast, controversy on the Streams Badly channel. Actually, kind of, but not really. Conspiracies and who knows what else. It's gonna be
something else beginning with C.
Thing. Have you been doing anything, Judd?
I've not. I'm prepping for the big thing I'm going to be doing in just under 2 weeks, which is going to the big Warhammer Fest tournament, which we'll do a whole I'll make you do a whole podcast about, and you can listen to me talk like how you talk about boxing, I'm just sat there like, oh yeah. I'm gonna go. You know how you go? What do you think's gonna happen in this fight? And I'm just sat there like, they're gonna punch each other, and you're like, no, go into it. I'm gonna make you do that. Like, I'm gonna take a picture of my army and whoever, like, the other guy's army for each 6 games. And I'm going to make you look at them, and I'm going to go, right, what do you think happened here, then?
Okay, and I will.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
And you're going to have to come up with something. Yeah. So.
It'll be a load of bollocks, but that's what I'm looking for from you when we talk about it. So. Speaking of that boxing, Judd.
Go on, then.
We were supposed to do a stream last weekend.
We were.
Reacting to Creator Clash 2. The stream happened, but unfortunately, Judd had puked all over the place, so couldn't attend
all over
the stream.
Damn place.
Now,
go on.
How you? What happened? Well, firstly, what happened to you? Are you okay?
Right, okay.
Are you dead? Is this a ghost?
It's actually
is this
quite
like
embarrassing.
A pre-recording? Is this like a pre-recorded thing that someone else is playing and it just happens to line up really well with what I'm saying?
You know when they You know in Resident Evil when they go down into that like dungeon place and the Red Queen's there, the hologram thing, and she's like, "You're all to die down here." That's me. I'm like the Red Queen. I'm the hologram.
I don't even know what to say to that. Go on, what
so
happened?
it is actually quite embarrassing. So I'm on pills now for for depression. I'm not on pills for antidepressant. I'm not taking pills that make me depressed.
That would be
taking
great.
pills. No. Yeah.
Well, actually, antidepressants do that quite a lot. Actually,
they do actually. For the first, when you first start taking them, your sort of like symptoms of depression and like thoughts like that go up like quite a bit actually. I don't know why my phone keeps going off. I definitely have muted it.
Be talking iDubbbz,
but anyway, so there's certain things you're not supposed to like eat and drink and do when you're taking these pills.
Okay.
Like one of the things is you're not supposed to drink, which I told you because it can make your heart explode. So you're not And now I'm not a doctor. But I think heart explosion is bad. I think I'm gonna say bad. So there's that. Another thing is chocolate. Chocolate can be bad. Yeah, chocolate can be pretty bad for you. Let me put this camera down a little bit. Chocolate can be pretty bad for you while you're on these pills, and it's because chocolate increases your serotonin levels, and that's what these pills do. So what's sort of happening is I'm getting all this serotonin in me, which is what fucked me up for the first few days. Like, did I tell you about how, like, well, you called, didn't you? You wanted to do something, you wanted to drop something off, and like I was fucked up in bed because I just started these pills.
Just so you know, chat's supporting you. They say that they think you need a big hug.
Oh, okay, thanks. Well, don't touch me, you fucking barbarians. I don't know where you've been. So yeah, they fuck you up when you first start them, and it's like you've got a fever like a really bad fever. You're like sweating and shaking and stuff. And it had been Easter. It had been, it had just sort of been that time. It had been the time the bunny had come and pooped the eggs or whatever the fuck happens on that holiday. And I ate a bunch of chocolate. I ate a whole bunch of chocolate on the day I was supposed to be coming over to your place. And not good. Yeah.
How come everything that's happening to you in your life lately, it's like forcing you to be healthy? Like, no chocolate, no booze, like,
Like, next it's going to be like, oh, fucking doctor's orders say I'm going to go down to the track every fucking Tuesday and, like, spend an hour running and, like, eat healthy, and, God, I'm so ripped, I hate my fucking life.
Yeah, like, you know what, the next thing that'll happen to you is you'll get some sort of disease somehow that means playing video games is, like, gonna make your legs fall off. So to prevent this, you have to go outside and do an aerobics workout for an hour a day.
Yeah. Oh shit! You've got this really rare disease where if you aren't earning at least 80,000 a year, your fucking brain just shuts off. So you're like, well, look.
And then the next one you'll get will be like, oh, I've got this like tapeworm that sits in you and just it makes you grow to like 6'2" and have chiseled abs somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's why you couldn't attend anyway. But
so
we had a great stream. There's people coming back from last stream, notably Burp. It's turned up to chat today for this podcast.
Let me get the chat. Let me get the chat up.
So Jude can be reading that while we're doing that because he missed out on a huge stream, the biggest stream we've ever done.
Yeah,
Streaming Creator Class.
Yeah, you were telling me.
Let me run down some of the numbers from this. Just the live stream itself. So not people who watched it live. This is the VOD that was saved afterwards. It's got over 11,000 views now. Huge for us. We gained a bunch of subscribers, 36 subscribers on the night on YouTube. 1,774 total messages sent in chat.
Wow.
We hit a peak of 304 people, different people watching at the same time. And 22 new followers on Twitch. It was nuts. A lot of people were great about it. Go on, what?
I was just going to say, is this the absolute peak of the channel? Like, this is the best it'll ever be, and I was fucking laying in bed.
Quite possibly. Who knows?
Yeah.
Most people were coming in being like, oh, when's the fight starting? When are the fights starting? Because that's what we were live for. And... most of the time it's like it's starting an hour and 50, and then someone else had come in like 3 minutes, like it's starting in like an hour 47, and like there were a lot of that, and I had to say to chat, look, sorry that I keep repeating that these fights are starting soon. A lot of people are asking. I should have maybe put a command in chat or something. But when it doesn't happen regularly, there's no reason to do that sort of thing. There was some assholes in chat, as there always will be on the internet.
Yeah.
There were like one or two people who were obviously like children. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Burps just reminded me that the other comment that was said just a ridiculous amount was, "Are you gonna show the fight on screen?" No.
I was just gonna ask. I was like, you weren't allowed to show it though, were you? Like, I was pretty sure we weren't. Yeah. Yeah,
of course we weren't. And there was loads of people asking that, and that's the other thing I had to keep repeating, say, it's going to be commentary and you'll be able to hear audio from the fight. That's the best I can do.
Yeah.
Otherwise we'll get banned. And there's a bunch of people being well, there was like 2 people the whole time. Out of those 1,774 messages, maybe like 30 of them were negative. And
that's not bad. That's a good day.
Yeah, and to be honest, the people who were in... we did get someone asking to show feet. And I actually had to question whether you're even allowed to do that. I don't
do you
even
think...
know if
hold
you
on,
are.
his autocorrect might have just been bugging. He might have also been trying to say show fight.
He might have, that's a good point.
He might have just been dyslexic or something. It
was nice that people in chat were like saying to the people who were... sending bad messages, just like, fuck off. As a policy, and on this channel, we don't fucking care. If people want to come in and use their chat messages to just spam hate towards us, look, right, that's going to push us right up in the algorithm. I don't fucking care. We're not
honestly,
precious about it. We're not going to be offended.
As long as you're not like using slurs and you're being creative about it, we'll probably read them out. Like if they're funny enough.
Yeah, yeah. There was one that mentioned something about a double chin, me having a double chin or something, and it was quite good, and I thought that was funny. I let that one ride. but the problem is, at a certain point, it just became two people who were obviously children, just like copy and pasted, like it weren't even funny. It was just like boring. So at a certain point, you have to be like, look, chat, is this annoying you? Because if it's annoying the people in chat, then I'll ban them. But I don't care.
Yeah.
But sorry, someone Burps just said, "How does a Brit look like a Mexican and sound like he's from Belgium?" Which one of us are you referring to?
He's talking about me. I do look a bit like a Mexican. I do think I look a bit like a Mexican. I think so.
Okay.
I think I got that. I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know what it is.
So that was that. It went really well. Overall, it was awesome. Really happy with it. However, as you know, I like to upload the reactions to these fights after the fact, and typically, that's fine. It just gets us quite a lot of views. People seem to like them. That's why I like to do it. And in one of the last batches of reactions I got, it's been going really well. Like, for example, I think Burps just said as well, the best descriptions of fighters as well. So they quite liked the commentary on some of the last videos we posted on one of the Misfits events. We had people in the comments of the reactions, like, talking about who they should fight next, what makes certain fighters dangerous, things like that. Just constructive things about the fights. One of them was particularly good, talking about Salt Pappy. One of the comments on that one was, love the reaction, new sub all the way from Hawaii. Talking about the reactions, like laughing at like some of the reactions, like, oh, that's such a big, oh my god, that was so loud. New subscriber here, suggestions for new fights. On another one of those videos in that batch of reactions, we had these comments, which one of them said, your wrist iced with the only reaction video out here so far. They were complimenting us on like getting a reaction video turned around quickly, enjoying the reaction from Kansas. Even one of the fighters who fought on the event commented on it, being like, can't win them all.
Oh my god, who was it?
Probably the least known one from the entire event, a guy called B-Dave. But, shout out to B-Dave. So, that's what happened there. By the way, chat, sorry if I can't get to your messages quite a lot. I'm a bit busy. I'll try and read out stuff when I can.
Sorry,
Judd will look at stuff even if he doesn't respond.
I'm painting a little plastic dude. I'm sorry.
In the latest batch, right, in one video in particular, but in one or two of the other ones, the comments were a lot more fucking idiotic. So I just wanted to go through these and kind of say why they were so dumb, and also, like, I don't know, just read them for a laugh. One of them was just lol, and I'm thinking, okay, this is fine.
Okay.
Again, as I said before, one of them's, bruh, where is the fight VOD? Fucking, come on! How do people not understand this? So, because it was the first comment on the video, I said, it's a reaction video, says in the title, can't show the footage of the fight because of copyright. Yeah. They responded to that, I know, but where is the VOD?
Oh my god.
How stupid you have to be! So I thought, well, maybe they're asking me where they can find the fight. Now, probably many places, but I said I don't think it's available anywhere on YouTube officially yet. Officially is my point. And the VOD should be available from the same link as a live stream if you bought the pay-per-view. I'm trying to keep it all above board here. I honestly wouldn't mind commentating on one of these events at some point if things ever take off. I'm trying to... You got to prepare for if ever things take off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting it to, and I'm not saying that like I think that should happen to us by any means. But if we got lucky or like some miracle happened, I want to be ready for it.
No, I know. I've been prepping for Y2K since I was 1 year old. You just, as shit pops off, you got to be ready.
Sorry, I'm just reading chat. Anyway, so another person, another one. I'm gonna call him out. The fucking name on YouTube. Laura Sanchez says, "Lamfow, bruh, how you gonna?" Wait, I gotta do a lady's voice. Lamfow, bruh, how you gonna do a reaction video when nobody can see the video?
Yeah.
Has she ever seen any other reaction videos on the platform? Never been as I said, never been a problem before. Lots of people do it. It's interesting to see how different people reacted to a fight that you watched. I do it all the time. Like if I watched a big fight and it went really well, like KSI versus Logan Paul 2, I went and looked at a bunch of people's reactions to that fight, and it was just their reactions. I knew it was. I knew what fight what they were looking at.
Yeah.
It said in the title. So I said, I don't see a problem here. Enjoy the content or don't. So they called me out on something, saying, come on, you know what you were doing. You literally put full fight reaction, Yeah.
Yeah.
It says reaction in the title, though. You can read. It's like, I did put certain things more prominently because that's the bit that's going to catch you, get your interest.
Yeah.
Okay? But then it does also say reaction next to it, so you know what you're getting. Someone commented clickbait. Okay, you can call it that if you want. Another one, here's one, Jay Rivera, whose user profile image is just a forearm.
Nice.
Some weird fucking people on his platform.
Are those his gains?
No, I think it's meant to be showing off a tattoo.
Okay.
They said you don't. They just said waste of time. I kind of say, you know what is a waste of time? If you don't like this video, what's a waste of time is doing anything else other than just clicking off the video. Then just watch something else.
That's what I do, because I watch a lot now, like reaction stuff to shows that I've already seen, because I like to go. I like to go. Oh, I liked that, or I felt a certain way about that. I want to see how other people feel about it. Or if I can't really be bothered to go and see something, if I don't really care, I might just stick somebody on who I think's funny, who watches stuff.
Yeah. For example, I'm not planning on seeing the Super Mario movie, but I might just watch a reaction to it, or someone's thoughts on it, just so I kind of know what happened,
Yeah, but if I go on to a video like that and they're not showing the thing, it depends how much I care about the thing. If I'm painting or doing something, I might just leave the reaction on. But if I want to see the thing, I'll just go watch somebody else's reaction.
Yeah, if you're that desperate for it.
Who sits there and writes these comments? That's what I think whenever I see a
case of that meme, shouldn't it? Understandable. Have a nice day. That one.
Yeah.
Chat's right as well. They got loads of comments going off about it, and I agree. So I responded to this person saying waste of time, which, if anything's a waste of time, commenting that is probably a waste of time. I just put, you don't have to watch. Shrug emoji. I think it's that simple. Then D. Vargas has commented to that saying, don't worry, we won't, and we'll be leaving dislikes, possibly reporting for clickbait as well. Using copyrighted material is against terms of service, yes, but so is clickbait/misleading content.
Oh, fucking shut up, you little bitch. I bet you got laid in college, you fucking narc. He was, this is, you know who's writing this comment? Randall from Recess.
Yeah,
that's who's fucking writing this comment. And after he finished fucking writing that comment, he walked into his mother's room, and his mother's 50 something, and he's 20, 28, 29, maybe 30, and he's tugging on her skirt mother, this rambunctious fool on the internet, this rambunctious fool has accosted me, he has challenged my good name and the platform of YouTube. And she's gonna be why the fuck do you talk like that? We come from Burton.
See, but said they're initially surprised I don't want to see Mario Bussy in real time. Listen, right, I ain't responding to that. But they've also said, is being a shit-covered snog also a terms of service offence? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I should report this comment. Well, I respond. My response to that is this. I think it's pretty obvious. If clickbait was against terms of service, then half the platform would get taken down. Like, come on. Like, literally anyone, the biggest names, probably their favourite YouTubers clickbaited them 1,000 times over. The title says what is in the video, so it's not breaking any rules. It's not like I've said Songs of Praise, a famous song from Songs of Praise sung by the local choir, and then they click on the video and it's someone going, that's not what it is. It's like, it is a reaction to that fight. The thumbnail is relevant to the topic at hand and everything. So I just put, you just got to read. If you don't like the content, you don't have to like the content. You don't even have to like how it's presented, but some people do, and your opinion doesn't make it any less valid.
It's like I've literally just fucking brought up PewDiePie's channel, and it's titles like, I apologize for this in advance, and like ... and it's like, that video is probably going to be him going, hey guys, sorry, I'm taking a 2-week break, so
no, it won't even be that. It'll be like, I don't fucking know. It'll be going to the store and buying some candy. It'll be something like that.
Yeah.
And he might throw loads of trash in the bin and be like, "Oh God, look how much trash I have to throw away. I don't really like doing that. Sorry."
Yeah.
Of course it is, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. You just got to be mildly educated in how any of this shit works. Do you think these sorts of people watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians or something like that and go, oh, they're not actually like that?
Honestly, these people who leave these YouTube comments complaining about clickbait are the same people who believe wrestling's real. Like, there's a disconnect in the brain. They don't get it. They're like, what?
Before you know it, Judd, we're going to be targeted by Wall Street Journal next.
Yeah.
I think what's happened here, right, is the thumbnails are slightly different than I'll usually do them, in that I didn't do a bunch of type faces and stuff like that because I was fucking tired. It went on while 4 a.m. and I needed to get these fucking videos turned around. So I couldn't be asked to make a bunch of fake reaction faces or like pick them out of the videos. From when certain stuff happened, when like I actually had big reactions. I couldn't, I just straight up couldn't be bothered. Plus, another thing is, if you're not a recognizable face on the internet space, it's often not really very good to put your face in the thumbnail, because then people see a face they don't know and it actually turns them off clicking on it so much.
Yeah.
So
that
it's
makes
better
sense.
off only starting to put your face in videos when people actually know who you are. Now, I've done loads of thumbnails with our faces in them before I kind of realised this, and often you have to put your face in it because it just makes more sense than anything else. So that's not to say that we're never going to do it. In fact, it's probably going to happen a lot, but it meant that I didn't put faces in these as well. These people have been literally tricked into being a child their whole lives, and they take their treats from mummy, whether it's YouTube, OnlyFans, buying stuff on Amazon, etc. It's true. The other thing that I did was the category was set to sports rather than entertainment.
Okay.
Typically, I put it to entertainment as like a default because everything's entertainment really on the platform, so anything can go in there. However, I was kind of thinking, right, how can I kind of level this up, and how can we potentially get more eyeballs on the stream and things like that? I'm going to look at
bums in seats,
Yes, I'm going to look at what one of the bigger live streamers who does reactions to these sorts of things. I'm going to look at what they do and see if there's anything they do particularly differently that might make a big difference. So I looked at True Geordie's channel. And whenever he does reaction to this, by the way, he never shows the fucking fights. That's for a start. All he does have that we don't have to kind of help a bit is he has a round thing on screen where it shows you what round it is and then the timer.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he always has that, but the problem is that's really difficult.
I thought you meant literally like a round thing, just like some round pulsating mass on screen.
No. That's really hard to do without actually recording the round timer that's on your, on the fight. Do you see what I'm saying? and we literally can't show any bit of the fight because it'll shut it down on our screen. You know, as in I'll not be able to see the fight anymore. You know, so it would be really useful to have what round it is and the timer going, but that's quite difficult to implement when you've not got like a whole team of people running your streams for you. It's just fucking me. Even when we're both here, even when we're both doing stuff, it's still just me. It doesn't fucking do anything.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, sometimes you give me like a thing to press, which is like a little fucking iPad. You're like,
it's like a baby. Yeah, it's like a baby's interface.
It's like, you know, when your mum or someone just like want to bother with you when you're like a kid or like a baby or something. She's like, here, just play with your iPad. That's what it's like. Yeah. You just pass me that, like, here, just fucking, you know, contribute to the channel, you fucking deadbeat.
So anyway, so he streams to the... a round timer would be really cool, and I think that would help, but he streams to the sports category, so I thought, I'm going to stream to the sports category, see if that makes a difference. Evidently, it made a massive difference. Lots more people tuned in, and I think when we're doing live streams of fights, in the future, they will be streamed to the sports category. But it made me think, I'll upload the reaction videos to the sports category as well. They didn't get any more views because of that, but they got a lot more hate. And I think it's because it's in the sports category, I think.
That doesn't at least make a bit of sense to me. Like, I see where they're kind of coming from with that one. Kinda. Like, you know. Just a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, it's still in the category of sports. Plenty of people. And I'm not the only one who uploads stuff to sports that's like this as well. Reactions to sports without the sports being on the screen.
I'm still not saying, oh, well, that explains everything. I'm just like, okay, I guess I sort of get it a little bit more, but whatever.
It's at least something we can maybe do about it, and something that, you know, it's maybe an explanation, so it might be fine.
I just feel like, even still, you just go, oh, this hasn't got the VOD, and then you just click off, and you look for something that does.
Yeah, if you were that bothered about it, or you'd just watch it real quick, because it's not exactly long. You'd be like, oh, that's what they thought of it. Let me try and find one that's got the VOD on it. I don't know. Anyway, It's just a Creator Clash being a sports event is like getting pay-per-view for a Beverly Hills cat fight. Listen, technically it's sports.
Bum fights were a thing. That guy did pretty well. Do you remember bum fights?
Bum fights? No.
How do you not know about bum fights? What the fuck? It was this dude, and he used to go around like places in America and find homeless people, and he'd just pay them to beat the shit out of each other, and beat the shit out of each other as well, like proper street fight rules. And he just record it. He just record it, and he fucking sold them as movies, and they were called bum fights. And he made like a shit ton of he made a shit ton of money. People loved it. I mean, I fucking loved it.
Speaking of bums fighting.
Yeah.
This Saturday, there's more fights. We're going to do it again. We're pissing more people off.
Oh, Christ.
So, live stream on the Streams Badly channel on Twitch and YouTube, starting around 5 p.m. this time because it's in the UK. It's the Kingpin tournament.
I'll have to pretend to be sick again.
Are you coming round? You have to pretend to be sick again. Are you going to try and come round this time, Judd? No chocolate.
No, I will.
No
booze.
I'll
not eat any. I haven't touched a damn liquor alcohol, but I won't touch a liquor chocolate this time either.
Well, if you come round around 5 p.m., that's when we will start. Around that time, we'll be tweeting about it and all sorts of things like that, and keeping people updated on what's happening. It's going to be big. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be really cool. So tune in 5 p.m. ish UK time for that. Anyway,
cool.
Moving on. That's taken up about half of a podcast. By the way, just quickly before we've not even 200% banned because he actually has had experience in prisons dealing with mental patients. He will teach you how to defend yourself. Legit, Creator Clash wants to be Disney on Ice. That's very true. That's very true, actually, because they banned fucking Froggy Fresh for saying that, is it Anita's mum was like, you know, slightly mean or something. I don't know, it was fucking weird. Anyway, we're moving on now anyway.
Wait, hold on, wait. Because, first of all, you've not even told me how any of these fights have gone, for a starter. And secondly, I can't even remember what the second thing was. So tell me how some of these fights.
You want to know what happened in some of the fights, Judge? Which fights do you want to know about?
Just a couple. First of all, how did I hate to call her this. I'm sorry, I don't know her name off by heart. How did Matt Mercer's wife do?
She lost.
She lost. Okay.
Yes, I think it was decision. I was kind of drunk by then. I can't remember.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I was just gonna ask, like, because you were humming and hawing, going, is she gonna put the effort in? And I thought just from what little I'd seen of her, she would.
Tried. I think she tried. It's just that she thought someone had already been in the ring. So.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough. How did Aaron do?
He won.
Oh shit! Okay, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
TKO round 2. So he finished him as well.
Oh shit!
Although on our channel, the thumbnail that I used for their fight makes it's not very flattering for Aaron at all. He's getting socked right in the face, and his face is like bent in half. But it just looks really cool. So.
God.
Harley lost. Epic Mealtime, he lost.
Oh, okay.
He got punched through the ring.
What? He got punched through the ring?
Through the ropes, over the commentator's table. Jack Manifold won.
What the fuck?
Dad beat AB by TKO, but it was a more challenging fight. Who else might you be interested in? Myth won by KO.
Who?
Myth, big streamer. I
don't know them.
And iDubbbz lost by convincing decision. He was fighting Alex Wasabi, who was supposed to fight KSI at one point, but pulled out, supposedly from a concussion injury. So that's how they went. iDubbbz went a bit mental at the end and did like an emotional speech or something. To be honest, it was 4 a.m. I wasn't sticking around for that shit. I've only just heard about it right before starting this podcast. I didn't even realize that he did that. I'm gonna have to look it up, but
Burps just said that we might have a new marketing strategy if we start calling ourselves Fanboy and Judd. Like Fat Boy and what the fuck were they called? Chum Chum.
I don't know about this.
And Chum. These two, you wouldn't have liked these guys. I've got a feeling that you're gonna have a look at these guys and you're gonna feel uncomfortable. This is something that I know you, and like shit, like cartoons that look like this make you feel uncomfortable.
Oh, I don't know. If anyone knows Fanboy and Chum Chum, do you know what's actually creeping me out a little bit? Is I kind of see the resemblance.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. We could be Fanboy and Judd. Yeah.
So conspiracy theories, that's what we're moving on to, Judd. Conspiracy theories. Have you got a favourite conspiracy theory that you want to tell me about? Or shall I just go down the top 10?
It's not a favourite one, but it's like quite an awful one that I genuinely believe, and I almost don't want to say it because it's really fucked up. Am I saying it? Am I going to say it? Is that silent for me to say it?
Warning, that's your warning. That's your warning.
Yeah, okay, warning. Like the whole really deep, like, pedophile rings in Hollywood and stuff, but like the really deep ones, like, like almost like satanic levels. Like, I don't know if I 100% fully believe everything, that's on that, but I do believe a whole lot of it. Like, I believe that there's large groups within Hollywood of actors, producers, directors, whatever the fuck, who have got deep pockets and deep connections that are trafficking children in the industry from overseas. There's a lot of evidence to support it. There's a fucking ton of evidence to support it.
What my question with it, right, is why? Why do they want to do that?
I know. I don't get, like, why? What?
God, top G's. Oh no. we're not
Good
getting
lads,
into them.
go on.
But because what I think, right?
Yeah.
The percentage of a population that are noncy, right? That are diddlers is very low. It's extremely low. You hear about nonces like reasonably regularly, But in reality,
Yeah.
compared to the amount of people that are out there, there's not many of them as a percentage. There's a lot of them out there, a lot of nonsense out there, but that's because there's a way bigger amount of people in general out there. So what I'm saying is, if you're talking about the top people, right? The people who've got enough money and influence to make kind of trafficking rings around these things and get away with it, that's a very small amount of people at that point. So the odds that a big enough amount of those people are interested in diddling to make this almost like an industry. I'm not saying that I don't believe it because of that, but it just that's what my question is about that.
I know, but I think that's what's so shocking about it is because there's a lot of people in Hollywood that are like this. Not everybody in Hollywood's like this. There were a guy who what was his name? He was in a few things. I'm not going to be able to find his name, but he was in some stuff, like, you know him maybe, and he started speaking out against like all the Hollywood pedophile shit, and he was like, look, there's so many of these people who are pedophiles that you'd never expect to be pedophiles. He was like saying, like, who's the guy who voiced Woody?
Not Tim Allen, Tom Hanks.
Tim
Allen's Buzz.
Yeah. No, it was like, you know, like Tom Hanks, he's a pedophile,
Weirdly,
you know,
like
like stuff like.
I could see it.
Yeah, and it's like, and like he fucking, you know, he killed himself. He jumped off.
Was it Epstein?
No, it wasn't Epstein.
Because there was a whole Epstein didn't kill himself.
No,
thing.
I know, but that is also true. That is straight. That's not a meme. I mean, it is a meme. It obviously is a meme, but like, it's not a joke. It's true. He straight up didn't. He fucking was murdered because he was like, I'm going to start talking about people with hype.
Uh oh. Judd's been taken out. He's been taken out. Oh, see, he was speaking out about all that stuff and he got taken out. Yeah, Sorry, I just did a bit where I pretended that you got killed.
I was like, was that a bit that you just... Was that a fucking bit?
I knew you'd understand that I was doing a bit that you were speaking out and you got killed.
Immediately I went, that was a bit. That was like a fucking bit that he just did.
Even chat gets it. My explanation, by the way, for what I brought up to do with that is that maybe they're so rich and powerful that they can get, like, anything they want normally. So they can have as much booze as they want, as much drugs as they want. They can fuck anyone on the planet. So they become a lot more desensitized to pleasures. They're so hedonistic all the time because they've got so much that they have to resort to more and more taboo things to get themselves off. You know? So maybe I think that could be an explanation as to why they kind of almost, you know, get towards paedophilia for that. It's horrible to think about.
I honestly think it's...
We're not talking Creator Clash anymore. We're not talking the top people of Creator Clash are nonsense.
I mean, maybe statistically, maybe one of them. I don't know.
I don't know. Probably Sam.
No. No, God damn it. No, it's not Sam. So anyway, what was I going to say? I was about to say something really insightful and cool. What was the last thing?
Right, whatever.
What was the last thing you said before Sam Hyde is a paedophile?
I was saying how it's probably them getting kind of so hedonistic.
Yeah, that was it. That's what I was going to say. So I mean, I think maybe in some cases, I think maybe that's the case.
Pedophile.
No,
he has actually been hanging out with Belle Delphine too much. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, but she's not underage.
I know, but to me, I don't know, the interactions are just weird.
If I could hang out with Belle Delphine all the time, I would.
He seems too defensive about how much they get on. Put it that way.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. So what I was going to say was, yes, in some cases, I do think you are right. But I honestly think that these people, in fact, I don't even like to call them people. These things that are into children are into children for a long time. These fucking disgusting creatures that need a fucking a bullet put in the skull. They, we'll talk about our favorite person in the whole world. Mine and Jake's favorite person in the whole world, Ian Watkins.
No.
We'll talk. So because I watched like a big sort of documentary to do with him when he was sort of like wanting to get famous, when he was wanting to start a band. He when I watched this documentary, he seemed to have this like drive, like he needed to get into specifically the pop punk scene and like the genre,
the punk scene and genre.
Yeah. And he had this drive, he had this like need to be famous. Like he always said, I've got to be famous, I need to be famous. And I honestly think it's because he always knew, like, once I'm famous, I can fucking use that fame to do whatever I want to whoever I want. And I think for a long time he was a paedophile, even before he was famous. And because to me, these people are going, right, what do I need to get what I want? If I'm going to be smart about this, what do I need to get what I want? Because these people who, go out and they just do awful things to children, a lot of the times they get caught. Like, they slip up, the kid says something, or
People think we're still talking about iDubbbz somehow.
We are. This is iDubbbz, yeah. So they go, well, if I have money and I have influence, like, I can use that to get what I want. Like, I can fucking pay people to hurt people, or I can pay people off, or, I've got so many fans, and, these fans will do anything for me because they love me.
If people are willing to do such horrific things to the point where they actively want to do them, then they'll be willing to do anything in the world to get to a position where they can do those things, because they're already kind of at a point where they would be willing to murder and rape, which is something that someone like us would be like, not a chance. I'm not even getting close to anything like that. So it shows they're a lot more willing to do things than normal people. So it's like, if you told us, like, what we would actually need to do to become a billionaire from this point, I'd be like, I'm good. I don't need that much money then. I'll have less.
That's also a thing that, like, I believe in, of part of this whole conspiracy thing, is that these people who are just sort of breaking into this industry are sort of scouted out by, people who are already, like, much more wealthy and have way more influence. These people like Epstein or the guy who was on Nickelodeon, Schneider, these people who are already have deep fucking ties and roots in this industry, they'll scout out these people who are coming up, and they'll be like, hey, we've got this going on. Do you want in? And, the people either go, fuck yeah, I want in on this. Fucking let me in. I want to be a disgusting fucking monster too. Or they go, fuck no. Get me away from this. You're fucking disgusting. To which the person goes, okay, if you do anything to slight me, I will kill you and your family. I honestly think that's what happens.
But do you know what? Why is it? It seems to be like, why is it in Hollywood then? Why is it in Hollywood? I know that's a big rich industry, but it's not as big as, like, tech.
Well, no, but it does happen in, like, tech and stuff. Like,
why isn't the CEO of Apple, like, maybe they're too big? They're too good at it then?
Yeah. Yeah, genuinely. Because if you think about it, these people who are in Hollywood and stuff, it's a much more sort of like favors sort of business. Oh, you do this, you get in on this, I can put in a word with such and such, and and stuff. Whereas tech, I think, is much more of a like, you gotta make it to make it.
You gotta
do you know what I'm
actually
saying?
have an ability.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It's like. Well, if you fucking suck my feet for a little bit, I'll get in a good word with Mr. Bill Gates for you, and he'll fucking let
so
you
we're
in on
saying
the
that it's like industries that require kind of that are more all about connections and more about kind of smoozing and that's why politicians seem to be tied into the same Hollywood ring. Right, okay.
Yes.
I'm seeing
now
that.
you're getting it. Now you're getting it.
That seems like it's still dictated by a bigger force, which is human nature, though.
Maybe. Or maybe that bigger force is a huge fucking satanic rape cult. Maybe it is.
But human
maybe
nature would be making the big satanic rape cult want to do that. You know?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But when something is that widely dictated by human emotions, I don't understand how it can be still so well hidden and not like massively obvious.
Well, with money, with this obscene amount of wealth,
people are fucking wild, Judd. Emotions, even people who've got an obscene amount of wealth. Emotions are insane. They're so random. They're so like all over the place that someone would go fucking mental. It's like how has someone who's right at the top of this not gone fucking mental and gone, I'm burning the world, I'm telling everyone about all this shit and then I'm gonna shoot my brains out and stuff. You know, if they're so wild and like off their rocker to want to do all this shit, how has that not happened? You know?
I don't know. The only thing I'd be able to say is maybe these people are so heavily sort of like that are allowed into this inner circle, are so heavily fettered or like, you know, whatever, that they just wouldn't, or like, you know, they've got such a sort of like thing dangling over their heads.
Just saying mass shooters, and it's not the same type of people we're talking about though. Like those people are like dregs of society who've almost been like indoctrinated and accidentally like kind of taken on an Andrew Tate mindset, or something like that, or taking it all kind of all of that. We're not
talking about the guy who shot up a college because he was into that one chick from Danny Phantom. We're talking about fucking Hollywood elite.
Yeah. So I don't know I don't know anyone who's on the level of like a Tom Cruise who's done a mass shooting, you know. But yeah. I just there's some bits of it that I just find a bit too hard to believe, actually. And it's something that's been going on for years as well, like 100 years or more at this point as well.
Yeah.
And I just kind of think I can't see how something that's so heavily emotional based hasn't exploded or something like that. And I can't see how so many people would want to do that sort of thing. And also be able to get away with it so efficiently for so long.
But they do. They get found out all the fucking time, don't they? It's like,
how do you know? How do you know? Huh?
A gulp.
I know the stream's badly channels are going up in the world these days.
Yeah.
Have you been sent any offers? Have you been sent any paedophile ring offers, Judd?
That's why I desperately want this channel to succeed, so I can influence us fans and fucking do horrible shit.
Do you think
I'd influence us fans to do shit, but it'd be like, right, dress up in full clown gear and let me honk your nose and throw a pie in your face, like, you know, stupid shit. Like, yes, God, please, I'd do anything for you. I'd do anything. I love you. Right, okay. Dress up in a dolphin suit and I don't know, go kick that guy or something.
Well, you know, Judd gets an email. Send feet to get 100k subs.
Yeah.
I think we should set a sub goal for you to start an OnlyFans. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Oh God.
What you know, if we get like affiliate on Twitch or something like that, and we get 1,000 subs, which is insane, by the way. That'd be pretty cool.
What would I do on it? Would I just like talk about like how my day has gone?
You could do whatever you want. It's up to you. You just have to start one. You know, you could make money off it if you did sexy pictures. That's all I'm saying.
I could make money off it if I talked about how my day went.
let's look at the top conspiracies then, and we can continue this in the next episode as well.
Yeah.
The 9/11 conspiracies, Judd.
Oh, damn.
That's number 1.
What is this, BuzzFeed's fucking top 10?
No, Live or Live Science. Do you want me to read what they say about it?
Go ahead, yeah.
The evidence is overwhelming that the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001 were indeed the result of a conspiracy. I think that's a bit controversial to just come out and say.
Yeah. Hold on, can you say that? Like, are you just allowed to say that?
I ain't saying it.
Okay.
Chat, if chat wants you to do a dandruff-based OnlyFans,
I don't have dandruff. I have to go get. Oh, do I just find people with dandruff?
No. You have to get dandruffy hair
dandruff.
and do some sexy dandruff content. Anyway, a conspiracy of Osama bin Laden and a crew of mostly Saudi hijackers. This is too simple for some, though. Conspiracy theorists have a variety of much more complex explanations of what happened that day, often involving insider knowledge by George Bush and Vice President Dick Cheney. How did anyone whose first name is Dick get that high in government?
Yeah.
Dick and Bush. Both of those are not
Dick
great
and
names
Bush,
at all.
the country was literally run by a couple of people called Dick and Bush. Of course, fucking 9/11 was planned. You can't plan the government being run by fucking Dick and Bush and not have 9/11 be planned.
Many claim that jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Are we even allowed to say that phrase on the internet anymore without getting cancelled? The Twin Towers must have been brought down by a controlled demolition from bombs planted before planes hit, apparently. It is, in fact, quite possible for the columns holding up skyscrapers to fail catastrophically when exposed to fires burning on multiple floors. So they've debunked this like massively.
I know, but the thing is like they always say this about the steel beams. But the thing is, remember, those steel beams had just had a fucking plane fly into them. So like they weren't in the best best shape.
And also, yes, it can. Is the thing. That's just straight up not true either, apparently, according to this. I don't actually know.
Yeah.
So other claims are refuted by simple logic. If a hijacked airplane did not crash into the Pentagon, as is often claimed, what? If a hijacked airplane did not crash into the Pentagon, did that happen?
Did you not know about this?
No.
Two planes hit the towers, and a third one hit the Pentagon.
Oh shit! I actually didn't know about that.
That was all of 9/11. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just the towers. That's the only one you hear about. That's.
I know. I know.
Why does the Pentagon plane not get mentioned more?
I know. It's kind of
bit.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up that, like, you know, the seat of America's intelligence and security was directly attacked. And, like, I know the towers was awful. Like, it was a terrible, awful tragedy. But it, like, straight up, like, you know, what if that would have been the White House? What the fuck would have people have done if the president would have just, like, had a plane fly into the head?
Well, I think, so what they're saying on that, then, by that logic is, how does a government that's that high up in world power not just see a plane flying at its Pentagon?
Yeah.
Like, they must have known about it and, like, wanted it to happen for some reason. But that's so fucking weak. Like, that's not an argument. There's just not really a good argument for other than they just fucked up and terrorists won that day.
I know. They straight up, they didn't think it. They didn't think about it happening because they never thought about it, something like that happening. Straight up, like nothing like this had ever happened before, ever. Yeah. Especially
not on this scale, at least. But
no, like not to this scale. Like, I mean, you know, planes have been hijacked and stuff, but like, you know, they'd never been used as a weapon before, and like, you know, it's
so weird.
It's such a strange concept because obviously now we think, oh yeah, you know, when you go to the fucking airport, it's all you go, take your shoes off and all these things.
Well, 9/11 is literally the only reason for that.
That's the reason why it's like that. All of this shit, some of that shit was there, but like most of it came after 9/11 because the entire world saw it, freaked the fuck out because they were like, oh my god, this is a thing that people can do, and like rushed to like securitize it.
Do you know that a good 95% of the things that they do in airport security does absolutely nothing?
Yes, because I have also watched the Adam Ruins.
Okay, well, just everyone just go watch that then, and we don't need to go through this, because it's a good show. Good show. I like that show. It's also wrong a lot of the time, which is interesting.
Yeah. But he talks about it when he's wrong, which I really appreciate.
He does. He did an episode on when we were wrong. So, which I think is great. But
I think he's a bit of a. I don't know. He's all right. I just think he's a bit of a fucking weed, you know.
Yeah, he is. The guy himself is, but he makes an interesting show. So I think that's all right. It's kind of weird that vehicles are not seen as more dangerous, because I know the primary purpose is just to like go places and go there as fast and efficiently as you can.
Yeah.
But their capability for death is so insane. It's like, do you remember a little bit ago there was a bit of a spate in more so in Europe of terrorist attacks using like vehicles, like people just drive, they just drive into a busy crowd, and it's like, why aren't people more worried about that? You know,
I know, because anyone can do it. Like anyone, like I was gonna say, like all you need is a car, but you don't even really fucking need that, because you're already willing to kill a bunch of people. Just steal a car. In fact, don't steal a car. Don't do any of this. Don't do
any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're planning on killing a bunch of people, why the fuck would you care that you have to? It's like, oh no, I'm not going to kill those people. I'd have to steal.
I have to steal someone's car. I wouldn't want to be the guy who wakes up and have his car missing on a morning. Like.
Exactly. He's nuts. So, it just seems brushed over. I know that in Europe and our country especially, guns are very, very restricted. It's very hard to get a gun.
I have a gun
in our country. Judd's got one. Bit worried.
I got a gun. Yeah. But I was gonna say, I have a gun, but like I would, if I wanted to go and hurt people, my car would do way more fucking damage than my shotgun. Like, because it's a fucking double-barreled shotgun. You know, I can only carry so many slugs. People have got time to
reload
run
it every couple bullets.
But so it's, you know,
I don't think that's the important thing, though. The important thing is that, like, if you wanted to just go and get your gun now, there's hurdles to that. You can't, like, it's not where you live, for example.
Okay. Me personally am not the best sort of, you know.
I know, but a lot of places in the I know what you mean, because it's at our dad's house. So like, it's our dad has a gun, and that is at where he lives. But that's not that common either. A lot of people who have guns for like shooting sports in the UK, they're at the place of the sport, locked up under protection. It's not. They don't have them at their house. Like, our dad had to go through months and months and months of many, many, many hurdles. He had to have a completely clean criminal record. He had to have multiple mental health assessments. He had to have a lady come and inspect his house multiple times. And then he had to have certain people specifically to fit a regulation box and all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Cars, you don't have to have any of that mental health assessment or anything like that.
Yeah, he was telling me as well. He said to me when I was telling him about me going on like these pills and like talking to the doctors about depression and stuff, he said to me, like, you know, it wasn't the first thing that came to mind, obviously, but like he said a little bit after, he said, you know, it actually is a really good thing that you don't have your own license and your gun's down at my place. And I said, why? And he said, because the second you would have left that doctor's office, there would have been police waiting at your house, like ready to be like, we've come to take your guns. Because he was saying to me, he went to the doctor's a while ago, and the doctor's screen was sort of like turned a bit, and it was turned a bit, and he's like saw it, and he wasn't supposed to see it, but he saw something come up on the screen when the guy brought his name, dad's name up, and he went, oh, what's that? And the doctor went, oh, well, first of all, he went, shit, you weren't supposed to see the screen, but then he said, that is this tells me you've got a shotgun. This tells me that you own firearms. And if you would have come in here and said anything about mental health, and you know, like straight away, the police would have been at your house, ready to get.
Literally, if he said, one time I wondered what it'd be like if I would have killed myself. I never wanted to, but one time I wondered that. That would have been enough. That would have been enough. Doctor would have gone, no more guns, gone, get them away,
gone. Yeah.
And so it should be. But what I'm saying to do with that is, it's interesting we don't have any level of that when it comes to vehicles. Vehicles can be so deadly. I think maybe something like a moped, you could maybe get away with not doing those sorts of things. But I think it's too easy to be speeding a moped around in our country as well. You just don't have to have a license for those. You can drive one for like 6 months before you have to have a license. So there's that. But like a car or a van, they can be doing 70 miles an hour and they're massive things. They could kill like 15 people in just one go. Yeah, I kind of... But I think it seems like our government very much wants to try and make it harder for people to pass their driving tests because there's too many cars on the road. The main problem with that is there's too many people. That's what you actually need to sort out. Stop the overpopulation for a start. But rather than trying to make the tests so hard... it would genuinely benefit their interest to have mental health assessments on driving as well. I'm not saying it should be a strict mental health assessment, as in it shouldn't be like guns, where neither of us would be able to drive, for example, if that was the scenario. But it should be like, if you've particularly got some anger issue, or something like that. You've got a certain type of anger issue and things like that. You need to be assessed for stuff like that first. If you're like, I don't know, if you've got like a form of autism that makes you really suggestible to people, it's like,
Christian,
this person can't drive. They might get, it's potentially likely they're going to get radicalized. There should be some sort of thing going on there. I'm not sure, but I just think, it's wild. Like, planes, especially, for years, they were just treated like buses,
Yeah, they were like buses that fly,
So, although having said that, I don't think you should have to have a mental health assessment to be allowed to go on buses.
But I don't know. Actually, you say that, but for some of the fucking people I've seen on buses, holy shit! Like, goddamn,
no one would take buses anymore. So that's the wild thought for the week. If you do like conspiracy theories, join us probably next week. I don't know what we'll be talking about next week. There's some other stuff might come up before then that's more interesting, but we might continue conspiracy talk next week. Also, make sure to tune in this Saturday, the 22nd of April, around 5 p.m. to have a little old watch party of the first round of the Kingpin tournament, starring people like Anison Gibb, Austin McBroom, King Kenny, who else we got fighting on this event? FaZe Jarvis, Tom Zanetti, a bunch of folks. It's going to be fantastic, and Judd will be there, right? Yeah, I will actually. Judd's turned into a fucking dog. You can't eat chocolate; it makes him sick.
That's what I said. That's what I fucking said. I walked right up to my dog and I cussed his cheeks and I went, brother.
I feel your pain.
Yeah, I was like, mood kindred.
Well, thanks for listening, folks. Judd, hit us with your famous saying, your famous podcast saying that you always say, the same one every time.
Don't run people over.
Good advice. I thought you were going to go, don't you forget about me.
About me.
We're done, right?